The Galactic Council chamber had never been this silent. King Theron of the Azereth Empire stood at the podium, his three heads held high in triumph. Behind him, holographic displays showed the smoking ruins of the Miran colony worlds, 7 planets, 18 billion souls, erased in a single coordinated strike. They refused to surrender their resources, Theron declared, his voice echoing through the hall. The Azereth Empire does not negotiate with inferior species. We take what we need. Around the chamber, representatives from 100 worlds shifted uncomfortably, some in fear, some in disgust, but none spoke. The Azereth military was too powerful, their weapons too advanced. Speaking out meant becoming the next target. Then the human delegation's door opened. General Catherine Zhao walked to the center of the floor, her boots echoing with each measured step. She wore no ceremonial robes like the other representatives. Just her standard Terran military uniform. Simple, functional, bearing the scars of actual combat. Her face was stone. General Zhao, Theron's middle head sneered. Has humanity come to pledge loyalty to the new order? Wise. Your species knows when it's outmatched. Catherine stopped 10 meters from the podium. She didn't bow, didn't salute. She simply stood there, hands clasped behind her back, and stared at him with eyes that had seen things most species couldn't imagine. For 50 years, she began, her voice quiet but carrying to every corner of the chamber, humanity has played by your rules. We joined your council. We followed your laws. We signed your treaties. We fought our wars the civilized way, with rules of engagement, prisoner exchanges, surrender terms. She took one step forward. Do you know why we did that? Theron laughed, a gurgling sound from all 3 throats. Because you're weak. Because you know the Azereth Empire could crush your pathetic fleet. No, Catherine's voice dropped even lower. Because we were trying very, very hard not to be what we used to be. The chamber seemed to grow colder. The human delegation behind her stood motionless, their faces empty of emotion. Your Majesty doesn't know much about Earth, does he? Catherine continued. Let me educate you. On our world, we didn't have one dominant species competing for resources. We had thousands. And do you know what we did to the ones that threatened us? Theron's confidence wavered slightly. You fought them. We exterminated them. Catherine's words fell like hammer blows. Sabertoted gods, extinct. Cave bears, extinct. Mammoths, extinct. We didn't stop at animals. Neanderthals, Denisovans, every other human subspecies that competed with us, gone. We were so efficient at extinction that we did it by accident with species we didn't even mean to eliminate. She took another step. The council members began backing away from her, an instinctive response to something primal in her tone. We come from a death world where everything tried to kill us, so we killed it first. We spent 200,000 years perfecting the art of total war. Then we turned those weapons on each other for 10,000 more. World wars, nuclear bombs, biological weapons, chemical warfare. We got so good at killing that we almost made ourselves extinct 3 times. Catherine was now at the base of Theron's podium. Then we went to space and met you. And we thought, maybe we can be better. Maybe we can be civilized. Maybe we can follow rules. Her hand moved to her uniform collar, where she slowly, deliberately, began removing her rank insignia. But you just committed genocide. You murdered 18 billion civilians and bragged about it. She dropped the pins to the floor. They clattered in the absolute silence. So here's your warning, Your Majesty. The only warning you'll get. She looked up at him, and Theron saw something in her eyes that made his blood freeze. Not anger, not rage. Something far worse. The cold, calculated expression of a predator deciding whether prey was worth the effort to kill. Humanity is no longer playing civilized. We tried your way. Now we'll do it our way. Her voice was barely a whisper, but everyone heard it. And our way doesn't have rules of engagement. Our way doesn't take prisoners. Our way doesn't stop until the threat is permanently eliminated. She turned to address the entire council. In 72 hours, the Terran Combined Fleet will enter Azereth space. We will not negotiate. We will not accept surrender. We will do what we do best. What we spent 200,000 years perfecting on a planet that tried to kill us every single day. Catherine walked back toward the human delegation, then paused at the doorway. Every species in this chamber that stays neutral will be considered an ally when this is over. Every species that aids the Azareth Empire will be considered complicit in genocide. She looked back one final time. Earth is done pretending to be civilized. You wanted to see what a Death World species looks like when it stops holding back. You're about to find out. The door closed behind her. King Theron stood frozen at his podium, suddenly understanding the terrible mistake he'd made. He'd assumed humanity's restraint was weakness. But restraint was never weakness. It was mercy, and mercy could be withdrawn.